This is for those who are like 65 prayer or higher, 50 con, high slayer, high combat stats, 70 range, and this is how I do barrows, so I know most about this. There aren't many differences between high and med, so you can watch both if you want, but there's not many differences between these two. Take this path from the canvas bank, behind the pub, down the shortcut, out the door, down at the big swamp, and take the boat down to Morton, then follow that path over to Barrows. Alright, this is the inventory you should have. I recommend having 4K mines and 1K death. You can do like half that, a quarter of that. It's nice to know how many you're short on or how many you're getting. So I like doing 1K, it's just, or you could do less if you don't have that much money. I put all my weapons and things that just kind of stay still, kind of over here, so they don't move around too much. Like weapons, my DDS, my bow, my whip. And then I have the 3 armor pieces that change. And then I have teleports to my house. You can use teletabs, but then it wrecks the whole my mage window conspiracy thing. And then you have a nice even amount of food like that. I kind of like that. Then you always remember the spade. That's the first thing you should always withdraw when you're about to do barrows. Withdraw spade so you know you have it and you won't end up sitting over there. Second thing you should withdraw is bolts. But yeah. So, and then you just use any food really. I like monkfish, they're cheap. They heal 16, they're nice. Sharks work too, but they're more expensive, so you're gonna lose a little more money. And I rarely ever actually use my whole inventory of food. I do sometimes. I'm having a bad run where like Varric and Torag and Guthan all hit me and I run out of food, but that rarely happens. That happens like once every like 400 runs. So, I like monkfish. You can do manta or sea turtles if you want. Lobsters will probably work pretty well too. But yeah, I think this is a really good setup for things. Also, so you know where runes are on top. And if you have to bring a prayer potion, you can get rid of the accumulator or anything, or just have another less piece of food, and put a prayer potion there so you can dose when you need to. Alright, this is my inventory, my equipment, excuse me. Helmet, knees out is best, I think. You can be really anything with defense. I like this because it gives a little bit more strength too. Glory, Fury, Power, etc., whatever you can afford. Glory is nice and cheap and good. A cape, like a God cape, achievement cape, Albi cape. A normal cape if you really can't do anything else, but a God cape should be your like minimum. God cape is actually really good. Achievement capes are good too, but I think God cape might be best. The bolts you're gonna use for fighting. The bolts you're gonna use for fighting. Aram. Slayer staff at the beginning, along with any book or a shield. Doesn't really matter. I like fighter torso, gives strength. Could be rune plate, any barrows armor, etc. Same thing with the legs. I have rune legs. Rune legs are cheap. They get the job done. They could do dragon and third age if you're that expensive. Dragon, barrows, Torag. I used to do Torag, but yeah, rune's nice and cheap. Barrows for gloves. I like barrows gloves because they're the best gloves in the game, and they give range and magic experience. Even though magic is pointless. But any really should work. Combat bracelet would work, or even just some random gloves. For boots, dragon boots are just as good. I like snakeskin boots, so I have some range. And I don't have to swap between boots. And these work just fine. Any ring except for wealth, no wealths. Yeah, then yeah. So anything like a life if you're really that afraid. So yeah. When you're about to kill Aram, you have to switch. You can switch your armor to range armor. This could be K rules or red or blessed or just black d'hide. I like the rune crossbow because it keeps my shield in place. It keeps my unholy book, and I don't have to waste a spot with that. But you can use a normal bow and rune arrows. like a magic short bow. But I used to do that, but I noticed that this is faster and you can cause more damage and like poison or just cause more damage. Period. Um, but yeah, I guess if you do want to do short bow, you have to have an extra space to have your shield go when you equip the bow. I say just stick with a rune crossbow. I say only have rune. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't recommend having any other ones. An adamant might work, but I guess that's how cheap you are, how low range you are. I bring the accumulator from what's it called, Annual Magnetism. So, cause ever since that new update, now air moves around, so all my bolts are scattered everywhere. So I might as well save the time and just have that. So I just lose like 2 bolts per trip, which is not that bad. And so that's why I bring that. So I switch that also with my cape. Everything else stays the same as the melee. You don't have to really change anything for the rest of the guide. The rest of the guide will be based off what I normally do. So just follow along with that. Just click here when you're ready to go back to the first video. Just skip the first intro and then go to the next segment of that video.